Hello, colleagues. Welcome to the end of another lovely week, hopefully, with the sun shining down throughout the course of the week. Please God, it's been a great week for all of you in your schools. So, three things today. One, about our values. Two, about some celebration. And three, about some opportunities. Let's do those three things in 3 minutes. Tried last week, failed. We'll have another go this week. So, first of all, just about our values. And the value this week is all around service. I've used that image that you can see in front of you there for years in my role as a leader in Catholic schools. And I've used it for two reasons. One, it shows the absolute humility that Christ came to serve. You know, if you think about that gnarliness of washing the disciples' feet and what those feet might have been like, walking those dusty roads and traipsing all around the Holy Land, you know, it really would have been a deeply unpleasant task. But I choose it both for that reason, but also because of the reaction of the disciple in the image. You can see the feet being recoiled. You can see the hands up in protest. No, don't do that. That's not your job to do that. And sometimes when we act in service and we act with real humility, we are sometimes seen doing things that people think just is not our job. Whether that's going to get the football boots of the little lad who's returned back at 6 o'clock in the evening because they've left him in the changing room and they got football that weekend, or whether it's, you know, staying that extra bit of time to be with a colleague who's found the day a bit difficult, or whether it's actually, you know, that bit of extra preparation time on something you're working on, just the diligence and the care, because you know that even though it's unseen, it really, really matters. So thank you. And maybe go around and ask and thank other people for the way in which they work with humility and service as well. I'm already failing on the timing. So some celebrations as well. So we had 2 peer reviews over the course of the last week, and we've got 2 left to go in the primary school sector over the course of this academic year. We visited both St Louis and St Joseph's Catholic primary schools, and good grief, what an absolute pleasure it was to visit those schools. And those of us undertaking the peer review were, you know, smoke was billowing off our pens with a number of things that we were thinking, yeah, we're going to nick that, we're going to nick that, we're going to share that, that will suit this school, that will suit that school, that would be a really good idea to take out elsewhere. And for me, there were some moments where I thought, oh, I thought that was really good. Actually, oh, it needs to be up there. So well done to those 2 schools, sincerely, but also well done to the reviewers and also well done to every school that is undergoing that process. It really is a great formative process, and I thank you sincerely for what you've done. Hopefully, we've smiled all the way through and we've been really positive already over time. Disaster. Okay, let's move on to the next point of celebration. And you can see there a lovely photo there of Dylan, our employee of the month for the St Thomas Catholic Academies Trust. He's one of our IT technicians in the central team, fairly new to the trust actually, not that new anymore, but still fairly new in some ways. And he's there with Clark Campbell, also one of our central team members. He's our Chief Operations Officer. And you know, there is a time for us now to really celebrate the great things that they have done over the course of the last few weeks, in particular in St Anthony's School. So St Anthony suffered a really serious ransomware attack. They've not just recovered overwhelmingly all of the data, recovered a phenomenal amount. They've actually repaired things to be into a far, far better state. And that's probably a bit of a marker, really. It is, you know, we took on St Anthony's into the central structure a wee while ago, in terms of the IT, and there was a lot to do, the previous provider maybe left it in a bit of a vulnerable state, is the truth of it. And I am incredibly proud of that team and incredibly proud of the work that they do, not just in St Anthony's, but right across our family of schools. And, you know, tip my hat to them, really. They're a fabulous bunch of people. And when they're in your school, just go and say hello. They're as the saying goes, great bunch of lads, and they do a fabulous job. Thanks ever so much to all of you. And lastly, just some opportunities for all of you. So these come out to your head teachers in a weekly bulletin. So these shouldn't be a surprise to anybody. But if you have a look at the roles that are there, we've got a number of key roles that are due to be, the closing date is fairly soon. They've gone out, hopefully, through the head teachers to the appropriate groups of people who could apply for those roles, given the person's specification. But there's some new roles there that have been advertised, particularly the Trust Leader of Primary RE, which is an interim TLR role. A trust leader, a chaplaincy, which could be either a teacher or a support member of staff. We welcome applications from either of those groups of people. And also a trust leader of early years to support the development of early years across our trust. Now, if I was a secondary school teacher looking at that, I might say, well, hang on a minute, where's the trust leader of secondary school something? Well, if I'm really honest with you, all the evidence, all the research shows that if we get early years right, if children make a flying start in their education, then they will have a great chance for the rest of their lives. So this is about doing the right things in the right way, in the right order, not necessarily just, for how it might look. So early years is where it's going to start, because that's where it has the biggest impact. And we'll grow it out from there. More to come on that, more opportunities, and I'm delighted if that's the case. Just a little note, people that have served in those roles have now gone on to become both head teachers and deputy head teachers across our family of schools. 4 people in our trust in the last 2 years, head teachers and deputy head teachers. Something's going right there, something really is. So there we go, all done. Have a lovely weekend, have a great time in the sunshine. Please God, it remains for at least for the rest of the weekend, and I wish you all the well for the week ahead next week. The glory of God is a human being fully alive. St. Thomas, pray for us.